Hey guys, good morning. This is George. I hope you're doing well. Let's hope we have a good session today. I'll wait for people to show up and do their strategies. Just waking up now. All right, so let's go with 1565. This is a kissing set. Any kissing set can be used as an opening set to establish what your dice are doing with a lot of accuracy. We're always talking about dice behavior, and the dice behavior is this: there are certain actions that the dice do. They will either come inwards, that's implode, go outwards, explode, stay on axis, and then from there on you actually interpret whether they are staying primary, secondary, or do they double pitch. If you want to go a little bit more advanced, you actually say, well, was it the top side that double pitched? Was it the bottom side that's showing the results? So that's rotations. So you're getting quite a bit of information without sevening out or without having a come out set. From then on, you actually make the decision of where your dice are going to, what sort of sets are going to be agreeable, non-7 sets for you. Until that moment, you shouldn't be able to work it out because you just stepped up to a table and it's the first time you're shooting. Your come out rolls are very important, and I would say you need at least two tosses to establish what your dice are doing. So 2 tosses should be on kissing sets. From then on, you decide. You might actually stay on them, go to hard ways or V sets. It's up to you. Here we go. Good morning, Caniela. Nice up. So I'm using 1565 set. Kissing 4s. That's them inside. Implosion to the hard 6. 5s here, 4s here, and the 1-6 on top. Right, so we'll be shooting straight, so that's right side of the table. Paused, backswing, dice up. 4-5-9, that's explosion. We don't need to know at this stage whether it's the right die or the left die that exploded. And sometimes you can't tell. So 4-5-9. One die explodes, the other one is facing me. That's the result. What sets can I use with the 1 off axis? Hard ways. Or if I need to, I can go to V sets and use explosion friendly sets. V sets and cross 6s, 1, 5, 6, 5. Dice up. 4-3, that's a drift. So 2 numbers came up, lost money, but the interpretation is this. I'm not staying on axis and I'm drifting. Best sets for this kind of situation is hard ways. Let's prove it. I'm going to work the come out. I'll go with 6565. If I drift both dice, it's a hard 8, hard 6. If one die, thank you. If one die goes off axis, it's a box number. All right. So that's the thinking. I actually paid the ultimate price. That's it. One, 5, 6. That was on axis. Secondary. Don't particularly like that result. Okay. Six, 5, 6, 5. Two, 4, 6. I like the 4. Gives you a bit of confidence. Let's hit number 2 frontline winner. Thanks. 1, 4, 5. There's out. 6, 2, 8. That's hit number 4. And I'm coming down to 160. There you go. That's it. 4. So 2 numbers in a row are on axis. Is it too late to consider let's say, doing V-sets? Why would we do V-sets? I guess to minimize the amount of 7s that there are on axis. So let's go with a 2, 3, 2, 1. No, it's their own. Okay, so I have to go 3, 5, 1, 5. Because rotations become important as well with V-sets. We need to catch a 5 or 2. Six, 2, 8. Okay. That's 6 hits. 4, 6, 4, 2. Becomes a 1, 4, 5, 4. We need to catch a 4 or a 3. Four, 1, 5. That's a front line. So it's a 5, 4, 5, 1 set to begin with, and then we quarter turn towards us to 3, 5, 6, 5. We need to catch a 5 or a 2 in the result. Nice. 3, 6. That's a primary. That's a top side primary. Now, why do we rotate dice sets? I mean, why don't we just stay with 1? Slowly, what I'm trying to do is make the ATS a little bit more valuable, and that's basically the reason why we do it. Four, 5, 1, 5. Nice. That's a 2, 4, 6 or 4, 2, 6. I can't tell. We caught the 2. We're happy. We have to be happy. Two, 6, 4 becomes a 5, 6, 3, 6. Nice. 4, 6, 10. That because it protects me from the 4 basically. That's 10 hits. 2, 4, 6, 8. No, that's 9 hits. Anyway, I'm gonna come down and start again at 160 level. But the idea is what? 5. 2, 4, 2, 6 becomes a 3, 2, 1, 2. The idea, guys, is to always watch out. This is an implosion friendly set. If this happens, nothing happens. If this happens, nothing happens. If this happens, nothing happens. If this happens, nothing. That's what I'm saying. You have to go to the bottom of the dice to have any negative effect. 3, 2, 1, 2. Yes. One, 5, 6. We got a 5. 5s and 2s will protect us against, the off-axis problems. So that would be 10 hits. We press. Two, 3, 6, 3. The original set would be a 3, 5, 3, 1. Quarter turn towards us, 2, 3, 6, 3. The rotations that we do have to do with catching the 3. Sorry, the quarter turning of the dice have to do with catching a 3 or a 4, for example, in this set dice. 2, 3, 5. Now it's going to be an X6 set. This is 11 hits. The X6 set means that we need to catch a 6 or an ace. 1, 2, 1, 3 is the set. Quarter turn, 5, 1, 4, 1. We need to catch the ace or the 6. That is it. We caught the ace. 1, 2. It's a 3, 1, 3, 2 set. That's the original. Quarter turn it to a 6, 3, 5, 3. Now I want to catch a 3 or a 4 in the results. That's it. Five, 3. That was implosion of the left eye. Well, we caught the 3, which is the big success of the of the whole thing. Other people think other things. I think about what's important to keep the dice in my hand. If I cannot do that, everything else is pointless. 6, 5, 6, 3 would be the original set. Quarter turn to a 2, 6, 4, 6. That's it. I got a 6, 3, 6, 9. It's a front line. Okay. Good. That's 13 hits. Here we go. Oops, not working come-outs. That's a 5, 3, 5, 6. Add quarter turn towards me, 4, 5, 1, 5. There's a. We need a 5 or a 2. 3, 1, 4. Nope, that's a double pitch. So this is where we start worrying about the results. The set to use is a 2, 3, 2, 1. I need to try it one more time. 4, 2, 6, 2. If I don't get a 2 or a 5 in the result, then I'm going back to the primary set. 4, 2, 6, 2. I better, correct my middle finger slightly. There's a 6, 4. That was what? The implosion of both dice. It's a TIN. In the words of Gary, now also called some kind of Larry. All right, 6, 4, 10. We have 2 hits, which 5, 6, 5, 4 is going to be the set. And we're going to keep it at its primary form. Because we have 2 results without a 5 or a 2. Hey, Croc, what's up? 5, 6, 5, 4. We need to see a 5 or a 2. And by the way, by being on the 6-4, we saved ourselves from a 7 out on a hardway set. That's 4, 6, 10. That's an explosion of both dice. Again, we saved ourselves from a 7 out on a hardway set. That's 15 hits. Two, 4, 2, 6. Dice out. Dice out. We need a 2 or a 5. 4, 2, 6. Okay. Secondary on axis. Good stuff. 18 hits. One, 4, 1, 2. Is a cross 6 set. We need to see an ace or a6 in the result. Dice up. 4, 1, 5. That's a secondary. 17 hits, 2 regressions. Takes us to 5, 4, 5, 1. We need to see 5 or a 2 in the results to be happy, to be confident, whatever you want to call it. Nice. Yeah, we got a 2, 3, 2, 5. Secondary, 3, 2, 5. Chain score hits. Takes us to 6, 3, 6, 2. Nice. 6, 1. We got both of them. We just wanted either a 6 or a 1. We double pitched. Okay, so that was a good one, and I think for the most part we did okay in terms of our shooting, because I was being very deliberate, very slow in sort of thinking through what my dice sets would be. The 3, 2, I didn't think anything of it. I had a 1, 4. Or 4, 1, 5. I think it was a 5, 4, 5, 1 set. Got a 3, 2 secondary. The 6, 1 that followed on a 6, 3, 6, 2. Best kind of 7 that can happen to you, I guess. Here we go. Because there is only 2 of them on axis. We made some money. That's important also. Here we go. Stick to the set. Six, 3, 6, 2. Nice. For 1, we got secondary, and we got very good mechanics following up from the 3, 2. Because when I was on a 5, 4, 5, 1, we got the 3, 2. So 4, 1, 5. And we got the ace, which is very important for us. 5, 4, 5, 1. Now, if I was an extremist in terms of believing in consistency, I would say the next number is a 3, 2, 5. But in reality, or being more experienced than that and not so arrogant, I would say I need to see a 5 or a 2, preferably separately. Not together. 5, 4, 5, 1. Nice. 2, 6, 8. Secondary, okay. We'll take it. We got the 2 out of it, guys, so that's important. takes us to 3236. Got a 3 and a 6, okay. I don't know whether it was a 6-3 or 350. That's the second hit. Coming down and doing my 160 across. Five, 3, 5, 6. I need to see a 5 or a 2 in the results, hopefully. Nice. Nope. Got a 4-3. Only 2 hits for this one. I managed to regress, but still would have liked to go on and have a better SRR for the day. Right. So is it time for us to recalibrate? Maybe it's time for some hardways because we're getting on with our sessions. Our body's getting tired, and obviously we may not be having the same posture, maybe not the same throw, whatever. So what do? I think the best thing to do is to recalibrate by going back to at least 2 throws with the kissing set. So I'm gonna go 1-5, 6-5. This is the kissing 4s set. Outside you have the 6s, heart 10, heart 4, 1 and 6 top, 6-1 top, bottom. This helps us understand what our dice are doing in terms of implosions, explosions, double pitching, etc., etc. The important things. Here we go, 1-5, 6-5. 2 tosses. 4, 6, 10, that's explosion of one of the dice. Maybe it's a 6, 4, 10. The other die is actually staying top or bottom side. So I'm getting a lot of information. I'm getting the information that this result would have been a non-7 result on hardways and a non-7 result on V-sets. If I kept, let's say, hard 6 on top on a 3-2, 3-6 or a 3-6, 3-2. That's the kind of information that's important. All right, 1-5, 6-5. Same set. This is a kissing 4s set. Dice. 4-1-5. Again, it's telling me the same story. Hardways is okay. V-sets is okay because we have the ace, which is top or bottom. So that's hit number 1. So what do? I think it's time we explore a little bit of hardways simply because 2 of the number results are 1 off axis, which is perfect to do that. I could go with a 4-1-4-1. And why do I do it? Why do I have the 4s on tops on top and the 3 is on the bottom. Because I know if I explode the die, I'm going to get a 5. If I get it with a 4 or a 3, then I know it's going to be a box result. That's important also. It's not just, setting dice. If I get this die to explode, it gives me a 2. But I know my last 2 results were top or bottom, so I get either a 4, 2, 6 or a 3, 2, 5 box results. So that's why I'm using the 4, 1, 4, 1. It's a very, very complicated process of transposing previous results to sort of understand what's going on next. But the general principles are the same. If you're one off axis, go to hardware sets. Dice up. Two, 6, 8. Okay, we got the explosion on one die. The 6 was a number facing away from us. 2, 6, 8. That's my 2 hits. Coming down. 160. So I have guaranteed profit. That's all that's important to me. I'm not gonna go into it because and try and break the bank. It's not gonna happen. Never gonna happen. What am I going to do next? Go to the 4, 1, 4, 1 again. See if I have any sort of consistency. And by the way, the 2, 6, 8 was a 7 out on a 3, 2, 3, 6 set. Just to put things into context. It was a 6, 1, 7. Nice up. 4, 6, 10, that is secondary. You can see though the 6 is becoming a little bit, I don't know, of a player. The die in front. This was a secondary. What we get out of it? 75. Okay, cool. Good. 4, 1, 4, 1. That's hit number 3. Not working come outs. Nice. 6, 5, yo. That was a short one. Okay, I'm going to change the set now. Go to 6, 5, 6, 5 set. Nice. Part 10. Oh, that's a primary. I don't like that. Would you believe it? I do not like it. Because I got a 4, 6, then the 5, 6, all right, and the hard 10, which is facing me on a 6, 5, 6, 5, right, okay. What do we do? All right. Go to 6-5, 6-5 again. Dice up. Box cards, another primary. What's going on here? Guys, I don't know, for some reason I can't see Crapsee, so I'm going to log out and come back in. Oh. So that was a 12. Right, so that opens up a lot of possibilities. I have $25, so that pays $7.50. Now I'm going to come down on my bets and put a lay bet of like 300 on the 9 and do the rest manually. Yeah, let's see if that works. I'm gonna go with a 6-4, 6-5 set for the 9. I had 2 results which were on axis and primary. Now I don't like being on axis and keeping 2 hardware sets. Dice up, because they contain 4 sevens. 6-4, 6-5. 2-3. 2-3-5. That's it, number 4, I think, or 5. 5. 1, 2, 1, 3. Dice up. 4, 1, 5. Then we cut the ace. 5, 4, 5, 1. Dice. Heart 4. That's a primary. Takes us to a 2-6-2-3 set, or a 2-3-2-1, up to you. I'll go with a 2-3-2-1. Nice. 5, 4, 9. That's the tall. Yes, yes it is. I would have preferred it if it was a 4, 5, 9, but you know, I got what I wanted, I guess. Bets are off. One, 5, 1, 4. I got the 5 out of it, which is, you know, rotation-wise is correct. 1, 5, 1, 4, dice up. That's a 6. That's a 1, 5, 6. All right. Come down and do the 160 across, I guess. For 1, 4, 5. Nice. Four, 5, 9. Just in case. This is a secondary hit. Six, 4, 6, 5. Dice up. One for 5. Explosion, right. Oh, we got the ace. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we have 10 hits. It's a 2, 1, 2, 4. Dice. 1, 4. That's a primary. Don't be afraid.
Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one.
It's 11 hits.
Another one. And another one.
Dice up. It's a repeater on the 5. Okay, 2, 1, 2, 4. 1, 5, 6. Secondary. Twelve hits. For 1 for 5. It's a hard 6. Not all, you know, everything from the bottom. That's a primary hit. Don't be afraid.
Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. And another one.
3531. That's it. 3-4 double pitch. Okay, that was a weird landing and dice behavior in total, so I should be okay with that. Right, that was a, how many rolls? 18. Very happy with that. I'm at 120% profit. We just open up. Hey Tito, good to see you. Here we go. All right, dice out. Here we go, 3-5-3-1. Dice up. 4-1. Secondary, okay. Five, 4, 5, 1. That's a 5. It's a 3-2-5 secondary. And a frontline winner. Six, 3, 6, 2. Heart 6. Explosion of the right die. Didn't get what we wanted. Three, 1, 3, 5. Sorry, 3, 5, 3, 1. We need a 3 or a 4. Separate, please. We got aces. Yeah. Okay. Explosion of the left eye. So we've got two numbers which are kind of alarming. And what I'm going to do is to go to 6565. Because of one off axis, I know it's going to be a box number. Dice out. 314. Yep. That's my two hits coming down. Easy does it to 160 across. Even 155. Three one. Dice up. Hard 10, that's a drift. I'm beginning to like drifts on hardways more than V-sets. Because with V-sets, they're a little bit dangerous. With hardways, they're not. Five, six. Dice up. 4, 5, 9. I like that 4. Those are 4 hits, right? Yes, they are. Four, five, dice out. Six, 2, 8. Let's hit number 5. Six, two. Dice out. 1, 4, 5. Let's hit number 6. One, four. Hard 10, 5, 5 drift. There's a 5, 6, 5, 6. Double pitch. 6, 4. 18, 7, 22. Okay, let's reset again. I'm going to use a kissing set 1, 5, 6, 5. The 4s are inside, the 3s are outside. Secondary 2 on 3. That's what we needed for the small just a second ago. Alright. 1, 5, 6, 5. Hard 8, that's explosion on both dice. So what's the decision? Explosions are okay. Secondaries are okay for V-sets, so we'll go with V-sets. What type of set? 4, 6, 4, 2? Why? Okay, several reasons. Very difficult reasoning behind this. 4, 6, 4, 2. The first number that we hit was a 1, 2, which is a secondary hit on axis. And the second number was an explosion of both dice. If we hit a secondary number, it's going to contain a 4 or a 3. If we explode the dice, it should be a 2, 6, 8. So we're trying to hit a box number and use an explosion friendly set. That's why. That's it. Four, 5, 9, secondary. That's hit number 1. And we'll press the inside. The 7 set is a 6, 4, 6, 5. One last reason why I used the 4, 6, 4, 2 before was because there are plenty of pips to make sure that you have a good grip with aligning of the middle finger. 6, 4, 6, 5. That's it. 5, 6. We got a 6 out of it, which is okay. 4, 5, 4, 6. Dice up. Hard 8, that's a primary. Those are 2 hits. We'll come down. 160 across, and not working. So I think at this stage I have achieved the 130%. If I was to stop, if I was on a trip, and I usually take about 15,000, if I was to hit that number, 19,400, I would stop. 19, sorry, must be 19,500. So yeah, I would have stopped. 4, 1, 4, 5. Nice. Three, 5, 8. Second. I didn't like the jumping of the dice over there, but I got the 3 out of it, which makes me happy. Sometimes I feel that this is a monologue, 1, 3, 1, 5. And everybody's sleeping. Dice up. Dice up. Aces, that's a primary hit. I like that. Gives me a bit of confidence. Let's go with a 1, 5, 1, 4. Four, 5, 9 or 5, 4, 9. Another primary if it was a 5, 4. If it was a 4, 5, both dice exploded. So we always assume the worst happened and we try to account for it. Now we didn't get an ace or a 6. So what do? Because it was an explosion, let's say, we make this set even more explosion friendly. I'll explain. So this was a 1, 5, 1, 4 set. We're assuming the worst happened, that it wasn't a 5, 4 result, but it was a explosion 4, 5. Okay, so the set for that is a 6, 4, 6, 5. But to make it even more explosion friendly, we're going to quarter turn it to a 4, 1, 5, 1. This is the Vegas Day Tripper set. That's his signature set. So if you explode one die, it's a 10. If you explode the other one, it's a hard 8. We just do it so that you know. Hard 10, hard 8. 4, 1, 5, 1. Now, the reality behind what I'm doing here is not that. It's to actually get an ace or a 6, which is going to protect me against the evil of axis 7s. 4, 1, 5, 1. I got a 6 and a 3. I'm hoping it's a 3, 6, 9, which is secondary. Okay.
Another one. Another one. Another
But
one.
if it's not,
Another one. Another one.
then it's imploded.
And another one.
But because I got the 6, I'm happy. I'm going to keep doing that. So it's going to be a 3, 2, 6, 2 set. We have 4 hits. Dice up. 2, 4, 6. The 2 is okay because we want either a 2 or 5. The 4, however, is an implosion of the right die. And that worries us a little bit. Should we be on implosion friendly sets? Hit number 5. Or should we just leave altogether from V sets and go to hardware sets? That's also a valid question. If you're into that kind of thinking, All right. Six, 2, 6, 4. Quarter turn to 2, 1, 4, 1. Looking for an ace or a 6 in the results. Ace 5. That's 6 hits. What did I do? Let's do cross. So that's a 4, 1, 4, 5, or a 1, 3, 5, 3. From a 4, 1, 4, 5, quarter turn away, 1, 3, 5, 3. So what we want to see in the result is a 3 or a 4. That will give us confidence. Dice out. Aces, that's the explosion of one of the dice, which is very welcome because it's telling me what? That I took the right decision. Dice are actually exploding. I'm not going to change the orientation of the set. One, 2, 1, 3 is the original set. I'm just going to turn it to 2, 6, 3, 6. That was a repeater on the snake eyes. Okay, good for us. 2, 6, 3, 6. Like to see an ace or a6 separately in one of the dice. 6. I got the 6. Okay. 6, 3, 9. That's hit number 7. Six, 5, 3, 5. We need to see a 5 or a 2 in the result. I said. Hello? I do apologize about that. And about the 4-3, sorry about that. Okay, so that was a what? That was a 14 roll. We had 7 hits. I think most of you guys should have made some money. Right, should we stop here? I think I should. I'm gonna stop it here. Very quickly go to stats. I think our roll quality is improving. We have an SRR which crept up to 6.1 from 5.6. We had some really good rolls today. I think one touched the 20s, some of them in the teens. So it was a very, very good solid roll, something not to be ashamed of, I guess. And that's good, that's what we're looking for. What do I want to say? Let's go over to Insta camera only. All right, so I'll see if I can give you the strategy that I have been using today. Oops, sorry. Okay. Let me just bring Insta properties, configure, tilt. Right. And pan. A lot of lighting. Let me see if I can make the lighting a little bit better. Configure video. Okay. Brightness. Okay. So, I think we can see the dice clearly. I do recommend this. It's a very good starting set, 156 up, because it actually describes a lot of things. It shows you very clearly without knowing which die is which, whether it's left or right. Gives you a lot of information about dice. What we're interested in when it comes to setting our dice to align to how we're throwing is whether our dice are doing this, that, if they're staying on axis like so, primary. If they are single pitching like so, if they're double pitching like so. So this particular category of sets or families of sets has the unique ability to tell you that, and it also gives you information about this, the explosion or the implosion of the dice. It's a very unique, set in that it recognizes without you having to know that this is the left die and this is the right die, what's going on. And from here you can actually choose whether to stay on this set. I don't usually do that, or to actually go to a hard way set, 6-5, 6-5 for example, or a V set, 6-5, 6-4, which belongs to the explosion friendly family, meaning if this die comes inwards, it's a hard 10. If this guy comes inwards, it's a hard 8. Or the implosion family, 6-4, 6-5. Sorry, the explosion family, whereby this one, exploding comes outwards, exploding comes this way. And implosion is a 7, implosion is a 7. I'm showing you these sides for easy reference. So by knowing that, for example, that 1-5, 6-5, if my dice are continuously coming inwards to a 3, that's an implosion, or this one, I know that I'm going to use a 6-5, 6-4 set as opposed to a 6-4, 6-5 set, because the implosion is not going to cause any trouble here or here, or this one, with this one. But an explosion is going to cause troubles. So this one is a 3-4, this one is a 5-2. So I'm interested in this set, the 1-5, 6-5, purely as a starting set to establish what my mechanics are doing, nothing else. Once I throw it twice, I think it would be a good indicator for me, unless I see that I threw something really wrong, this is not the way I throw, and the next one is going to be a more accurate throw. If I see the dice double pitching, for example, the first thing I will know is that they're staying on axis. If they hit the 6s or the aces, I know also that my results are going to be top side. So I am tempted, very much tempted, to use V sets. Not to double pitch them from the beginning, but at least use them. And the reason for that is because I need, when I'm on a V set like a 4-6, 4-2, as I was trying to explain to you guys later, any result with a 4 or a 3, apart from the double pitch 4-3-7, is a non-7 result. So if I implode the die here and I have a 4 here, it's a 5-4-9. If I keep it on axis 6-4-10, 2-4-6, 1-4-5. That's it. 4-6, 4-2. If this die comes out or in, 4-1, 4-2, 4-6, 4-5. Oops, 4-6, 4-2. Same with the threes. Let's say this die rotates here, 3-6, 3-5, 3-1, 3-2. if this one goes in 5, 3, 5, 5, 5, 4, 5, 2, well, okay, that's not it. Sorry, this one remains the same, so it's a 1, 3, 2, 3, 6, 3, 5, 3. And that's it. That's the only thing that I was trying to say. It's good to get those results. The 3s or the 4s on a 3 V sets, the 2 or the 5s on a 2 V set, and for the cross 6s, the 6s or the aces. Now, if you're not getting that, but you're still not 7ing out, quarter turn your dice either this way or that way to attract those numbers. And that's the extent of my sharing for today. I hope I helped. Have a great rest of your day or evening. Dice are out, guys. Thank you.